Chapter 994, Stealing Boqing's Immortal Goo. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. This is the immemorial desolate beast, myriad eyes clear bull? Fang Yuan looked at falling heavenly river as a sinking bullhead attracted his attention. He quickly hurried over, using his methods to pull up this bullhead. An immemorial desolate beast was a strong life form that could rival rank 8 Goo immortals. The myriad eyes clear bull had a large body. Just this head already was like a small hill, and it was very heavy. Fang Yuan had once pulled up Luopo Valley, but this bull's head alone was heavier than the valley. This bull head's weight is mostly on the horns. Incredible. The horns were already cut by the swordlight, and only half remain. But it is still so heavy. Fang Yuan gasped. The bull's horns were rank 8 immortal material. They were filled with metal path and earth path, Tao marks. And the bull's skin was very rare. It was full of water path Tao marks. Unfortunately, Fang Yuan only had part of the skin from the bull's head. If it was the skin of the bull's body, not only would there be water path Tao marks, there would also be light path Tao marks. It was very useful for the refinement of investigative immortal goo. But the eyes of the bull were the most valuable part of the myriad eyes clear bull. The 2 eyes were dark and deep. They were full of dark path Tao marks. When Fang Yuan obtained them, there were many dark path wild mortal goo inside, mostly rank 5. They could not escape in time. The eyes of the myriad eyes clear bull could not see. They were blind to begin with. The mechanisms through which the myriad eyes clear bull truly perceived vision were the eye tattoos on its thick skin. They were very mystical. The Tao marks that were on such rank 8 level life forms already had functions helpful to them. For example, the 10,000 Li earthworm was also an immemorial desolate beast. It had extremely strong regenerative abilities. As for what gave it this ability, it was the wondrous Tao marks on it. Only by destroying these Tao marks can the 10,000 Li earthworm truly be killed. But 10,000 Li earthworms were hidden deeply inside Earth Trench, or Earth Abyss. They did not exist in Falling Heavenly River. The life forms in Falling Heavenly River were mostly related to water path, followed by earth path, metal path, wind path, light path, and dark path. There were few fire path life forms here. This is the right arm of an ancient desolate beast. Icefall divine ape. This is the tail of an ancient desolate beast, snow soul crocodile. What is this? Never mind, I will collect it first. Fang Yuan was prepared. He rapidly looted. These were all severed portions of bodies. Fang Yuan could recognize some of them, but not all. They were mostly ancient desolate beasts and desolate plants, with a few of immemorial desolate level among them. But these rank 8 immortal materials, even if they were small in quantity, had immense value. Fang Yuan felt great joy every time he saw one. Oh my! This seems to be a life and death kunpang. Fang Yuan gasped in surprise. When he was almost done collecting all of the immortal materials floating on the river, he found his 19th rank 8 immortal material. In all, this was a gray fish with the size of a boat. It did not have gills. In place of them, there were Tao marks in the shape of feathered wings. The life and death kunpang is a law path immemorial desolate beast. It is very special. Its body is filled with life and death Tao marks. It has 2 forms. One is a fish, the other is a bird. It lives as a fish for 8,000 years before turning into a bird after dying. After living for another 8,000 years, it will die for real. This life and death kunpang seems to be close to becoming a bird. It is probably more than 7,000 years old. Fang Yuan sighed. Humans were the spirit of all beings, but they had short lifespans. Meanwhile, immemorial desolate beasts and ancient desolate beasts would often have thousands or tens of thousands of years to live. Not to mention plants. The most famous example was Kumu Mountain in Northern Plains. It was not a mountain, but an old earth wood tree. This tree had 1,000,000 years of history because it had grown extremely large. It was called a mountain. Compared to it, primordial origin. Immortal Venerable, who had the longest lifespan among venerables, only lived for 25,000 years. Red Lotus Demon. Venerable with the shortest lifespan lived for 3,000 years. It was barely a fraction of that of the old earth wood tree. This life and death kunpang had a well-preserved corpse. Only the fish head was partially cut away. The rest of its entire body was still around. Together with the life and death Tao marks that it had, the special type of rule path Tao mark was very rare in the entire world. Thus it was very valuable. This life and death kunpang is probably my biggest gain in this trip. Keeping the life and death kunpang in his aperture, Fang Yuan sighed internally. At this moment, the bloody water in falling heavenly river was frothing. Large numbers of fierce beasts and immemorial level aquatic plants were fighting over the severed limbs and corpses. Fang Yin had insufficient battle strength. He could only work quickly and collect the immortal materials that floated to the surface. From time to time, some immortal materials floated up. These immortal materials were mostly taken by Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan wisely left some alone due to the might of the fierce beasts and plants underwater that sought them. Gradually, under the river, there was growing chaos. These severed limbs and flesh were good food for these living beings. As their food decreased, they engaged in fierce combat that caused bloodshed. Sometimes some dead, ancient, desolate beast corpses would float up to the river's surface. Fang Yuan would take them away and earn a heavy sum. As time passed, Fang Yuan's gains decreased, while the risk of collecting immortal materials became larger. He was a bit hesitant, wanting to leave while it was safe, but on the other hand, he wanted to explore the riverbed. After all, star constellation Immortal Venerable's second sentence seemed to be referring to Boqing's immortal zombie body. But it was all only a guess, he was uncertain. Right at this time, star constellation Immortal Venerable's singing voice appeared in his head again. Fallen songs and despondent heroes, difficulty in resisting the trials of fate. Bent swords sink in the sand, rising and falling from ancient times. The rumbling of an unceasing heavenly river. Alas, spectral night carries a soul into endless dreams. Where can one rest in peace? During spring and autumn, body and mind shifts, only heaven's will remains vast and boundless. As the voice faded, a second wave of mysterious information entered Fang Yuan's mind. Sword Immortal Boqing, Mo Yao's remnant soul. Fang Yuan was shocked. His eyes shone with brilliant light. So what if I take another risk? As long as I can obtain Sword Immortal Boqing's Sword Path Immortal Gu, even if I am unable to display their true power, it could be comparable to part of an immortal Gu house. Fang Yuan was very resolute. He immediately left this part of the river's surface, choosing a faraway place and diving deep into the river. Because the sword lights had rampaged and almost all of the fierce beasts were gathered at that segment of the river, fighting for resources, Fang Yuan could dive in very safely now. In fact, he even picked up some naturally present immortal materials, like snow soil, unchanging water, kiln ice, and others. Arriving at the location indicated by the mysterious information, Fang Yuan stopped moving in the river. He took out Mo Yao's fake will. Fang Yuan, what do you want? Mo Yao's fake will was at first indignant, but she was quickly weakened by Fang Yuan's methods. She was defenseless and at his mercy. It seems that somehow everything has a connection. Mo Yao, your fake will caused me to topple 88 True Yang building. Today I will return you that favor. Mo Yao's fake will was captured by Fang Yuan. It dissipated slowly as an intense aura spread out. Sensing this aura, a beam of light appeared, as an incomparable sword chi burst into the sky. Fang Yuan was startled and almost retreated, but the sword chi did not attack him. It only cleared the surroundings and was very gentle towards him. In the beam of light, Sword Immortal Boqing's immortal zombie body slowly appeared. Fang Yuan held his breath, looking at Boqing's immortal zombie body tightly. The latter did not open his eyes. They were still closed. This meant that the remnant soul of Mo Yao inside the body was still in a semi-conscious state. This remnant soul only felt a familiar aura and was drawn over by Fang Yuan's methods, arriving in advance. His surroundings were covered in sword light. Fang Yuan could only move 3 steps closer. This distance was his limit. Any closer and Fang Yuan would not be able to conceal it. After all, he was relying on just a fake will that Mo Yao had left behind. And this fake will had been weakened and tortured by Fang Yuan countless times. Basically, all my other methods are unusable. Only through using Mo Yao's will can my aura be disguised, and the immortal goo in Boqing's immortal zombie body be lured out. Fang Yuan moved carefully. He was afraid that enough of a disturbance would wake up the other party. Actually, the most drastic method against immortal zombie Boqing was to take away all of his rank 8 immortal essence. That way, even if he has immortal goo, he would not be able to do anything. Although that did not account for special existences like Dream Wings, immortal goo, immortal zombie. Boqing had died for a long time. His immortal aperture was completely gone. If not for the layers of sword light around his body, Fang Yuan could even capture him alive. But reality was not as Fang Yuan hoped. The thick sword light protected immortal zombie Boqing. Anyone who breached it would be attacked by the countless sword lights. According to the mysterious information in his mind, Fang Yuan used his method and quickly saw effect. He lured out an immortal goo. This immortal goo was like a swan's egg. It was translucent, and from the outside, jade light could be seen in it. When it was close, Fang Yuan could feel a bone-chilling coldness emitting from this immortal goo. Fang Yuan was overjoyed. Even though he did not know what immortal goo this was, or what use it had, the aura of the immortal goo told him that it was a rank 7 immortal goo. What sort of person was Boqing? Even in history, he was known as among the strongest people beneath the Venerables. Even though he was not invincible, he could still easily dominate and suppress all of Central Continent. None of the immortal goo that he used was rank 6. They were at least rank 7, and his core sword path immortal goo would certainly all be rank 8. If not for that, he would not have that terrifying battle strength which he was famous for. Fang Yuan enveloped this immortal goo in Mo Yao's aura before using wisdom path methods to seal it completely. These seals were very fragile. They were deceptive in nature. He was deceiving the consciousness of the immortal goo, making it feel that it was still in its owner's hands, that it had not been taken away by a stranger. Fang Yuan could not touch this immortal goo yet. He kept it in his immortal aperture. Soon he repeated it again and used his method on Boqing. This time, after a long while, a second immortal goo was drawn out by Fang Yuan.